Living in a tiny house is quite a bit different than living in a normal house, and there's an awful lot you have to learn before you just jump into it. By the time my wife and I felt this was the direction for us to go in, I had spent months researching the houses on YouTube, going to a tiny house show in Decatur, Georgia. It's our first exposure to the tiny houses to actually go inside of them. Thank you. Oh yeah, you want to go up here? Go ahead, sweetie.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
Got the fan to keep the air moving up here. And even flying out to Oregon to attend a tiny house workshop by Andrew and Gabriella Morrison of tinyhousebuild.com. Okay, so why aren't more people doing this, since it doesn't look like as many people are traveling with these things as they
just don't know. They don't know.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, this is the big revelation for me. So yes. Yeah.
Did everyone see it? It was like, boom.
Yeah. Right around the time I finished designing our tiny house on one of those floor planner websites, I discovered that one of the premier tiny house builders in the country was right in our own backyard, Timbercraft Tiny Homes in Guntersville, Alabama. I was already considering 2 other builders, and because my parents have so much home improvement experience, I brought them with us on our very first visit to Timbercraft. When they both saw the quality of Doug's work, they went on and on about it, practically begging me to choose him as our builder. Before I made the final decision, I received a bid from another builder here in Alabama who was a few thousand less than Timbercraft for the shell build. Not only that, but they were able to start building right away, whereas with Timbercraft, it was going to be several months before they could start ours. But after a few more visits, I was so impressed with the quality of their work, and I liked Doug's team so much that I decided the extra money and the extra wait would surely be worth it. Since I have a Christian YouTube channel where I share my walk with Jesus Christ and how God has dealt with me along the way, I wanted to share our tiny house journey of faith as well. Right behind me is our house. I promised you in some comments and in previous videos that I would eventually get around to telling you like what this tiny house thing was all about and why Persis and I are doing it. I was so thankful to Doug and his entire team when they gave me the opportunity as a customer to video every day of the construction. I got to see them building not only my house, but many others at the same time. And I saw firsthand the excellence that Doug demands of his team. And I also learned from listening to the guys that what many builders consider to be overkill, he considers standard. The most impressive thing I saw at Timbercraft happened when they made a major mistake on my house. I happened to be filming the very moment when it was discovered. Doug grabbed a tape measure and started measuring the placement of one of my doors. And it turned out that my bedroom door and the upper loft window, which I had drawn to be symmetrical with the other outside door and window, was now off by 10 inches to the right. I never even noticed it, but Doug found it and then realized it was because when he laid out the center of the door, he read the plans as showing 59 inches rather than 5 foot 9 inches. He immediately came over and showed me what happened, and then he took full responsibility and said, "Look, don't worry. We'll move that door and window back right where it belongs." And I said to him, "Doug, there is no way I'm going to let you guys do that, and you're the one who doesn't need to worry about it." I reminded him and the entire team who was now standing around as we discovered this, that I'm living for the life to come, and that the Bible says all these things, including tiny houses down here, are going to burn. But what impressed me the most was that he not only took responsibility for the mistake, but he was the one who found it. By the time the home was almost finished, I had fallen in love with the whole team that Doug has put together at Timbercraft. We had such a great time working together.
Lie, and now we're continuing the lie.
Wow.
Passing it on to you. Now
This
you know
is-
the truth.
And is the
This
truth
is 3.5. It's not 4.
So they call it a 2x4, but it's really just a big lie. So basically what I've bought here is a bunch of lies.
That's right. Everyone. All of these are lies.
Outstanding. It just looks to me like you guys are a bunch of kids having fun and making a mess.
We really are. We're not sure what we're doing. I always have a reason for what I do, and if I don't, I'll make them up.
Each of them had all been so patient at one time or another to answer all of my silly, owner questions while they were working, and especially patient with letting me film with a camera right over their shoulder or even right in their face. At least most of them were. Then there is Justin, whom I affectionately call the ultimate camera ham, because he constantly surprised me with any chance he could to ruin a perfectly serious shot. Before it was over, I felt like I was a part of their family. It got to the point where I actually became sad when the house was almost done. My tiny house will come and go, but my experiences and memories with the team at Timbercraft never will.